Hey everyone, here's a money question for us. Hi Claire. If we are not supposed to keep chasing the money thoughts, is it best we believe we already have it and stop chasing it? Or do we never think about it and it will naturally arrive? How about none of the above? Oh yeah, money. There's so much nonsense around money, isn't there? And there's so much nonsense around beliefs as well. Like literally a belief, there's no option in a belief because a belief by definition is believed as true. It's reality. A belief by definition isn't questioned. So really, the beliefs are entirely subconscious. They're what's been absorbed by the system. Information's come in. No separate self has been doing any of that. It's just been happening by a system. Beliefs being formulated based on experiences, and lying there beneath the surface, dictating everything. And yeah, in relation to money for sure. But it's not that there's a separate me that can decide to believe something different and then in comes money. How would that even happen? Like how if something looks real, it's that means it's beyond question. If it's believed, it's out of the bounds of questioning. So so we won't do any of that. We'll look at what is really going on with money. And I think this is really interesting, where we don't go into bypass, because we can absolutely recognize that the circumstances in which an individual is brought up has enormous effect on their well, first on their conditioning around money and on their access to it, on their contacts, on their the information and knowledge they have around it, their exposure to it, what they've seen as possible, what they've seen as impossible. So for us to say money's just our thinking is much too simplistic. Having said that, what I think is really interesting about this conversation is when it is an invitation to go deeper into reality, like really rigorously challenge ourselves, challenge the mind, challenge assumptions by going after what we want, really. If we say I want money, awesome. What for? Why do we want money? What is it you want to buy? That's the starting point, isn't it? Because already in that, money is now shifting from money, this enormous ethereal concept that contains all our conditioning, all our learning, all the arguments we've witnessed with our parents, all the conditioning, all the beliefs, is transferred from money to a thing. Like, here's a thing that I'd like to buy. Maybe we'd like to afford the rent, or maybe we'd like to go on holiday, or maybe we'd like to have an extra £50 to buy food. Whatever it is, what do we want to buy? And now attention is less in this sort of made up world of me versus money, which is never gonna do anything, because all that is like a surface, unquestioned reality. Now we've got something tangible, food or rent or a holiday, a new car, whatever it is. And now the question is, how much is needed? So we now start getting really specific about how much. So we're already, now it's less about us. in a webinar the other night, we were talking about a seesaw shifting. So this shift from me, and this is really what's going on when it looks like something's going to secure me. Money will secure me, a relationship will secure me, a new job, this guarantee of a certain future. When it's me, this unquestioned me, like pins down that end of the seesaw. And what we're really interested in is that becoming enlightened, really, that lightening, because it's dense from limitation and lack, from trauma and wounds, insecurity, fear, shame. That's what creates its weight. So as it lightens, then the seesaw can shift, and the thing, the actual apparent object gains more weight. Because when it's all about me, the thing or the person or the project, the meeting, the task, whatever it is actually irrelevant. It might look like it's all about that, but it's not. It's really all about me. So we're interested in that shift of the seesaw. So now less about me and more about, so now I know what I want, I know how much it's going to cost, and I can really start looking into what's stopping it from being bought now. Where is it that there's no money to buy it? And that's really often not the case. If we're really honest with ourselves, there might well be means to buy what we want. It's just in the self idea of having no money, having no access, which is really a child, helpless, hopeless. I can't do this. The world's against me. In that space, all possibilities cut off. We're in this reality of incapacity. Someone look after me, and we don't see what is right happening here, right in front of us. And so, an honest question to ourselves: could I actually buy this right now? Or is there a really obvious way to get this money? Or what's the choice that's being made? If there's this obvious way to get the money, and yet there's something that I value more highly than doing that. Maybe to get the money, I'd need to ask for a raise at work, or I'd need to change my job, or I'd need to go out a bit more vulnerably to try to get clients. Now we start to be making the choice transparent. What is actually holding me back from doing that? So we start to see choices being made all the time. And what's happening now is they become more visible. And so now it becomes like really, so I'm not going after new clients because I'm embarrassed. People will think that I'm not doing so well in my coaching business if I'm trying to get more people in. I don't want to risk exposure. I don't want to risk people turning me down. So now that becomes the choice. Like, that's what I'm choosing over having this thing that I'm keep on telling me I want. And so now we're literally saying, I actually don't want that thing enough. I don't want it enough to risk this. And now we're starting to get very real with this world of beliefs and actions and choices. And brilliant. And so the desire for the thing is simultaneously taking all attention deeper into the world of things and of money and of actions. And also at the same time, it's revealing the areas within me of vulnerability, of fear, shame, lack, limitation, so that they can start to be actually healed now, instead of just like running the show as a underground dictator, as we've referred to it before, as a child really in the front seat of a Ferrari. Now now they start to be seen. Like this is the navigation that's happening. So we're not anymore in this sort of in this place which is so gratifying for the ego. Really, the identity hides in this. I want money. I want money. How can I manifest money? No, we're right here in the real world with actions that are obvious to take if we really want this thing, and we're seeing why they're not being taken. And then maybe through that transparency, we actually do take the actions. And then the people say no to us. Awesome. Really great when they say no to us, because, and again, two things. First of all, it shows our reaction to their reaction, always so revealing. Again, the child coming up, this shame and embarrassment, humility. And two, because it forces us to really acknowledge whether we actually do really want this thing and all the implications of having it. We're so much in the real world now, and the real world is just revealing itself. It's becoming more and more obvious, more and more simple, more and more about physics and engineering and chemistry, biology, business. We're in there, and that's how we get money, and that's how this whole system of limiting beliefs and conditioning of lack starts to get integrated, starts to heal itself, really, in that process. And that I would say is the only way it happens, and it's the perfect design. Yeah, great. Lots of love. Bye.